welcome to Mums at the Table. Good to have you with us. I'm Rachel.
And I'm Shona.
Now, coming up today, we have got Gia, Olive, Moses in the kitchen, and we've got Colette doing her wellbeing segment with Fiona. But today, we're talking about confidence, and all parents have their fair share of going to the hospital. And I know you would have, but did you feel confident? It's really an unnerving thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And I can't say that I ever felt confident in it. I probably faked it a bit, but I certainly, it can be really, really stressful. When
Do you remember the first time?
Oh, I remember every time. There isn't one time I don't remember. I remember the youngest one, they were running upstairs and he smacked into the corner of the wall. Don't ask me how he did it, but split straight down the front of his head. No blood until he made it all the way down the bottom of the stairs and was downstairs and rushed off to emergency, glued it up. Yeah.
So you didn't call the ambulance,
Nope.
You just went straight
to hospital, yeah.
So you're saying you did it a lot of times. Did you ever get used to it, or did you actually ever think, okay, I know the drill here?
Yeah,
and
I knew the drill.
You know, and that would have built up some sort of, I guess, familiarity. Yeah. That feels like the wrong word.
No, I knew the drill, yeah.
Yeah, like you, I don't think I'll ever get used to it. And we've had our fair share of turns. We've even had, you know, one child where the doctor made a wrong diagnosis and my husband challenged her on it. And thankfully he did, because, you know, that could have actually been quite disastrous. So that really shook our confidence. Shook mine, not his. He's in the medical field.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, it's almost like, I guess, some of our hospitals can be a bit more like a factory setting, or, you know, so we have to advocate for our kids.
Yeah, and that would be the one thing that I would tell parents from all the medical stuff that we've been through, and we've been through a lot. You need to be proactive on your child's health. Like, I got to a point when I knew the eldest child was getting sick and I'd be into the hospital a couple of days before he would actually start getting the symptoms. So you need to be really proactive for your child. You need to be making sure that you fully understand the ailment or the whatever they've got. Yeah, so that you're skilled on it.
Yeah, but that first time can be really unnerving.
Yeah.
And it is good to sort of know that trust your gut. It's there for a reason, and it really is helpful. And be the advocate for your kids, because, you know, not many other people are going to do that for you.
Hey, thanks for joining Colette and I for a chat. We are talking about restoring screen time balance, something that we definitely need to do and adjust, because a lot of us have been coping behind the screen and working behind the screen, living behind the screen, and just even sending our kids to the screen. So how can we restore normality somewhat?
Absolutely. I think this year's looked very different, and a lot of the things, you know, we've often said as experts in the area of working with children with screens is, you know, maintain the balance. But the balance looked very different this year, and the balance kind of was tipped in favour of screens. And out of
because
necessity,
that's how we stayed connected.
Absolutely. That we were connecting with loved ones, with friends. My youngest isn't usually allowed to play Xbox during the week. Right. He's got to be involved in sport and schooling and so on, and Xbox is for weekend. But this year we had to bend that rule in our home, because he needed to connect with his friends online over the headset in the afternoons, because he hadn't seen them all day.
It was a coping mechanism.
Absolutely. And it was good for his mental health. And so really the balance will look different at different times in our lives. And so how do we restore the balance once certain things ease? Are our children back at sport? So, you know, we may be pulling back on some of the screen time they've had in the afternoons. I think really, again, it's looking at the content that our children are accessing. So a lot of their screen time this year might have been educational. So that there was nothing wrong with that. Our content might have been for work. Nothing wrong with that either. So it's really looking at, for our children now, do we need to go back and readjust the schedule? Right. So is there a new bedtime that has to be readjusted to? Have we let that slip now that they're back at school? Do we need to adjust to what they're watching? Did things slip in that we didn't realise because we were so engrossed in everything COVID and our own work and our children working online doing schooling? And stuff got through that we didn't realise. And so I think it's important for us then to look at what are our children doing socially? Are they accessing apps and social media that is not age appropriate for them? Right. So social media is not recommended for children over 13.
Do a technology check.
For under 13, sorry, yes.
Right.
And absolutely do a technology check. So things like TikTok, that is not actually something even recommended for children under 16.
Wow.
And so, you know, things might have slipped through the cracks.
What we see as fun
Yes.
and a family activity, we need to be more mindful of and look at it and see, is this appropriate for our children?
And then, you know, if our children have stumbled across adult content or pornographic content, have those conversations with our children. Did you find something, or did someone send you something that I didn't notice was sent to you, or that made you feel ugly in your tummy or feel a little bit sick? I won't be angry with you. I'm not going to take away your iPad now forever. Really use this opportunity to open the conversations. One of the biggest safety mechanisms is our connection and communication with our children, even more than the kind of blocking devices. We should have those, the blocking software, but the conversation is so important, and let's keep those happening now.
Yeah, keep the lines of communication open. Thank you so much, Colette. I hope that's helped you. Keep it locked right here for great tips like this and so much more.
Well, how do you give your kids the confidence to speak publicly? You know, it is something that we all have to do as adults. It comes as part and parcel. But is it something that came to your kids naturally, Shona?
Well, I had one who is like his mother that could talk his leg off a chair. So he has no problem speaking publicly or telling you what he thinks publicly. The other one, he's a bit shyer, well, a bit more reserved probably is the word. So we pushed him a little bit. But we're very lucky that our kids went to schools where they did concerts, they did assemblies, they went to church, and they were always pushed up the front to speak, or, you know, to do dramas or whatever. So we were very lucky with our kids that they got to do that sort of stuff, and they're very confident children.
I was going to say, how's I guess your shy son going now? Like, is it something he doesn't like doing but does it anyway?
I think he does it and quite enjoys it now that he's not around us for us to critique him.
But at school it can actually be really intimidating because, you know, kids can be cruel, you know. They can mock you when you go up the front to do a talk or this or that. So it can be intimidating, especially if it's not something that comes naturally. So
what do you do with your kids? Do you have a problem with one of them?
Like you, I have some that come more naturally to it than others.
Yep.
But I love that they get the opportunity in what they do at school and in churches and in our community. But it's practice, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like anything else. Like, it's like athletics. Not all kids like it, but it's really important to be able to give it a go and get that full spectrum of what, you know, you can do in life.
Yeah, and a friend was telling me the other day when I was talking to her about this, and she said she gives her, because she also has a couple of reserved children, and she gives them time at the dinner table to speak out about how they feel without interruptions from other people. And I thought that's a really nice way to start that process, because it is the where do I start in letting my child speak out, and that's
building
space.
confidence in a safe space, like in the home and doing that. Yeah, I don't know, how have your kids gone? What do they do? Are they natural at it? Do you give them the opportunity to practice? Let us know. We would love to hear from you, so jump onto our Facebook group and let us know.
Who likes jelly in your family?
Me.
Me. And who else likes jelly in our family?
Moses.
And Moses. So my kids love jelly. Kids love jelly in general, and we are going to show you a healthy version of jelly. Look at that.
And these ones are
So this is another lunchbox idea. I love lunchbox ideas. If you have any lunchbox ideas, share them with us on our Facebook page or on YouTube. Follow us and send us some of your ideas. This is a jelly lunchbox idea. So inside is a set jelly, and I can put that in my kids' lunchbox, and they've got a little treat so they don't feel left out, because a lot of the times my kids come home saying, oh, the kids at school have chocolate cake, or they have this, or they have jelly, and I just think, I don't want to give them jelly every day with all that sugar. So I thought, let's make a healthy version, and here it is, right? All it is 500 mils, or you could double the recipe if you want, of just juice, 100% juice. This is just black currants. And
you could get like green juice, whatever colour, or rainbow.
Or rainbow. You can have a rainbow juice. This is just apple and black currants. And you just put it on the stove top, Now I'm going to turn it on and start heating it up. This gelatin that I'm using here, I've just put some water and I've mixed, it's just a vegetarian gelatin. You can get it at Coles or pretty much health food shops have it. You can use agar, which is also a vegetarian gelatin.
But if you're a meat eater, you could get the one.
I'm just going to add a touch of water to that because it's already setting.
Yeah.
Okay, so mix it through. Now, once you've mixed your gelatin in some water, I will then stir it inside my pot. And I will let this simmer or come to boil and on a low heat. And once it's come to boil, I turn it off, let it cool down just a touch, and then I pour it into my molds. And that's it. And you let your molds, like any other jelly, you let it cool down, and then you put it in the fridge, and you've got your jelly. Now,
if you make it at lunch, your kids have to have it at the next day. But if you make it right in the morning...
Who's gonna try the jelly?
Yum.
Is that good?
It's very good.
Is it? You can have the rest then.
Yum.
So if you want to follow some more recipes, easy lunchbox ideas like this, we're not going to stay here waiting for it to heat up. It's pretty simple. We just wanted to show you the end product because we made it yesterday. If you want to follow us on Facebook, Mums at the Table, or mumsattetable.com for all our recipes, or YouTube, Mums at the Table. You will see all our recipes there, cooking with Olive and little Moses, who's not here today. But we'll see you next time with some more ideas.
Well, that is it from us today, but don't forget, we've got our e-newsletter. We'd love you to sign up for that, especially if you want to hear more topics or see more chats with our experts. You can jump onto our website and sign up there, but we will see you next time.